Oh my goodness. Oh shit. Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning back in. For those of you who do not know, and I should probably just say it anyways because that's my tagline, but welcome to the Leftover Popcorn Podcast. I am your host, Damian Luneman, and today we are going to be talking about a lot of stuff, but most importantly, relationships. What they mean, and how people abuse them, and how most people in them are psychopaths. But before we get started, the reason that I was laughing at the beginning is not because I was trying to make a very funny and lighthearted intro. It's because literally at the moment I hit record, I was on Facebook, which I shouldn't have been. But sometimes I do the things that I hate, or I look at things that I hate to fuel the fire so that I can get like pumped up. But I kid you not, this post that I just saw on Facebook is like, what is your rapper name? And the grammar that is used in here is just, I couldn't help but laugh. It says, what is your rapper name? And then under it says, month you was born. And then it says all the months and a name next to it. And then you add it to the day that you were born. But under that, it says, day you was born. Day you was born. So for shits and giggles, let me do that for you guys real quick. Let's see. I was born in July, and that is 6/9. So already off to a great start. And then July 9th, Flexer. So mine, oh my God, my rapper name, the official rapper name of the Leftover Popcorn Podcast is 6'9 Flexer. Okay, never mind. This is not hosted by Damon Luneman. Welcome to the Leftover Popcorn Podcast, guys, and I'm your host, 6'9 Flexer, coming at you live from Hot Springs, Arkansas. And it is 40 minutes after 6. And the cough is still here. But no, relationships, yeah. So I recently, you know, like how whenever you see a car, let's say like a PT Cruiser, and you and your friends always reference a PT Cruiser, which is like the ugliest car ever made. And then you notice that since you brought it up, you are seeing a shit ton of PT Cruisers. Like everyone in Hot Springs drives a PT Cruiser, or wherever you live. That same thing is happening to me. Recently, I stated to somebody how much I hate people who publicly like talk to other people about their relationships that have no reason to know those details about said person's relationships. And now, every single person that I see or that I meet, every single one is talking about their relationship, and I don't get it, and I don't understand. Literally at work the other day, I'm at this table, and I hear this table talking to like the other side of the table. I work at a hibachi restaurant, so like you sit families there that don't know each other. Hell, it could be a couple, it could be a single person sitting with 8 other people, right? And she is just gabbing about her relationship, about her divorce and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, why are you doing this? What sacred information you are just like giving out to people about your relationship? And I think her sex life even came up at one point. And the people at the other end of the table were just like you could see it in their face. Like, why is this lady telling us this stuff? And then I go to McDonald's, and I know the lady who is behind the thing, or at least she seems familiar. Maybe just because I go to McDonald's way too fucking much. But I pull up to the window and she goes, hey, how are you? And I said, oh, very good. I was like, how are you? You know, just being courteous. And she said, well, just going through a divorce right now, but you know, it's whatever. And I was like, why are you telling me? I'm fine with some candor, you know what I mean? With some good banter back and forth or whatever, but not about that. I made a joke, I think, to a coworker yesterday. By the way, this is a podcast where I'm going to talk about things that I don't like, just specifically relationships, and people who just talk about them like it's a fucking news story or something, and everybody needs to know about it. But I was joking with somebody at work, and I said, you know, I am somebody who despises, most 85% of the time, I hate PDA. Don't get me wrong, I think there are times where I do want to hold Violet's hand and I do want to kiss her in public, but It's very slim, and it's not because I hate her or I'm not attracted to her. It's just that I know how I feel. Like, I put myself in other people's shoes, and I don't like to see people kiss or make out or like touch butts or stuff like that. Wow, I sound like an 8-year-old. Touch butts. I just don't like that stuff, and I hate PDA so much. But I made the joke that, like, talking about your relationship is like worse PDA. It's worse than that. It's like if you were getting a divorce, like the shit that you would talk to your lawyer about is to your lawyer only. That's the only person you should talk to about, not some guy in the drive-thru of fucking McDonald's. Like, why is it necessary? Why is it, sorry, that clapping probably clipped. Why is it so necessary for you to talk about your relationship to other people? Like, is it that boring? Is your life so simple that anything that happens in your relationship needs to be told so that everyone goes, wow, her relationship, she's got a fucking rocky road. I feel bad for her. Or him. I've known guys to do it too. They always bring up their exes or something like that, and they just randomly start talking about them, and I'm like, dude, why are you saying this to me? You just take my food order, please, and then go. Waiter's over here talking about his 4 exes and how one of them killed his dog or something. I don't know. It's just shit like that bugs me. And then I just realized I've only been talking for 6 minutes, but that's basically the point that I'm trying to get. My goodness, it made me so upset when I heard it. But like I said, now I'm just seeing it more often. And it's funny because I think the same person that I was joking about that with that at work, I even said, I'm sure there are many people out there that don't know that I even have a girlfriend. And I'm sure some people might think that as a negative way, like, oh, well, that's not good. Shouldn't you let people know that, like, you're taken or whatever? Yeah, if they ask. But I don't walk around with a fucking cowboy belt, like the giant ones. Whenever like the oh my god, what is that brand? Like the Family with that F. I knew like 3 dudes in my high school that got the tattoo of the word family, but with that font of like a PacSun brand, and I was like, oh my god, guys, you're gonna regret that. Padme. Sorry, she was walking on the keys in very cat-like fashion. But shit, what was I talking about? Oh my god, Padme, you did that, you bitch. But anyways, yeah, I knew guys who got that tattoo. And it was terrible, but like, oh my god, what was my train of thought? What was I just talking about? I'm gonna have to cut this whole shit out of me not remembering what I was talking about. Public display of affection. Oh yeah, fucking a belt buckle. Jesus Christ. I don't walk around and just scream at the top of my lungs, I have a girlfriend, I have a girlfriend, I have a girlfriend. We're doing fine. Last night we got in an argument over the AC. You know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely making a joke, and I'm definitely exaggerating in that sense, but sometimes I don't think I am. The shit that people fucking open up to me about, and like, I would consider myself a generally nice person. Like, I put off the aura of like, hey, it's okay if you want to talk to me, like, hey, I'm gonna listen, you know what I mean? But I think maybe I listened too much, because then I go home and I complain that I listened and that they told me, and it just bugs the shit out of me. But also, I am not the type of person to gossip or like tell other people about what other people tell me or whatever. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule. I think everybody talks about everybody behind their back. That just happens. But if you come up to me and you're in public and you are just generally saying this to me, and by this I mean, relationship advice or troubles that are going on with you, if you don't even preface it like, hey, can you keep a secret, like, let me talk to you about something. But if I am just standing there, or me and you are having a simple conversation, and you bring it up out of the blue and rant about it, and it's information I did not know and you did not disclose you were about to give to me, then do not be upset if I tell somebody about it. Because 1, I didn't want to know, and 2, it's almost like you're asking me to. I think anytime somebody is that forward about personal information? They want you to tell other people. They want people to talk about them and about their significant other and just have it be this giant-ass conversation. And it's just so stupid. Or like, worse, the loudest people, I think, are single people. I remember talking to Violet, and I think I saw this meme I hate. Oh my God, I hate relationship, like, Twitter accounts, you know what I mean? Where it's like, if he doesn't do this, then he's not the one. And it's like, if he doesn't buy you a castle and a BMW on your fucking 12th birthday, then he's not the one. Like, it's stuff like that makes me upset. But, yeah, I hate those Twitter accounts, and I'm going to get to that actually in a second, because there is somebody I follow on Instagram, and literally, I won't disclose a name, but the post that they have on, like, their story or whatever gives me new life, because I don't even have to go to Facebook to see cringe. I can just open up my Instagram and get my daily dose of it. But, like, once you disclose that information to me, I'm going to tell people. That's how it's going to work, and you shouldn't be upset if I do that. You're giving me that. Like, you want me to talk about it and draw more attention to you. But oh my God, okay, let me get my phone real quick, because I need to pull this up so I can actually read these to you, because like I said, I don't think some of them are from Twitter, but most of them are just like these super like sociopathic tweets of like, I can do nothing wrong, I'm always right, don't ever 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 assume that I'm wrong because you just don't understand me. And it's so great. Let me get this. Let me get this up, sorry. Oh yeah, here's some tweets. You cannot break down what can't be broken. Like, oh, I'm so strong and independent. My life is a shit show, but I'm so strong, or whatever. Okay, here we go. Always been called disrespectful because I never let nobody talk to me any kind of way. Oh my God. So let me just go through this word by word, or words, until it gets to the grammatically incorrect part. Always been called disrespectful. So always been called disrespectful because I never, NEVA, let nobody, all caps, talk to me any kind of way. One more time, for those who didn't hear me the first time. Always been called disrespectful because I never let nobody talk to me any kind of way. Like, I'm always a bitch. I am always just a raging asshole. And I've always been called disrespectful, but they just don't get it because nobody will talk to me that way. It's like a mom, honey, can you pick up your room? And it's like, you're a bitch, Mom. You don't understand. Nobody will ever talk to me any kind of way. I never let my mom talk to me no kind of way. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Let me read this one to you guys. It took me about 2 months to swallow this one, but also, oh my God, it's always like these accounts are just like preachers of like, they're preaching some gospel that I guess some people want to hear or whatever. Oh my God. Okay, here's another one. People are allowed to decide they want nothing to do with you. Literally, no one owes you a damn thing, not even an explanation. And I can just picture the context. I hope it's not taken in this way, but I can picture the context of like, you can be mean, you can be an asshole, you can do whatever you want to somebody, and you don't owe them a damn thing. If you want to be the meanest son of a bitch on the block, it's okay, because you don't owe anybody anything. You don't have to be a good person. You don't have to be kind-hearted and nice and open-minded. No, fuck that. Nobody ever gonna talk to you like that, no kind of way. Not even an explanation, dog. It took me 2 months to... I don't know why I'm doing that very, very specific accent. I'm sorry. It took me about 2 months to swallow this one, but people are allowed to decide they want nothing to do with you. Literally. No one owes you a damn thing. Not even a fucking explanation. Like, he's just literally saying... You know, like, hey, nobody owes you anything, but I'm getting a very aggressive vibe from it. Okay, another one. I'll fall out with the whole world and not give a single fuck. See, these are the ones that I respect. I respect a badass like this, who is somebody who is so self-centered and so only self-aware. Actually, not even self-aware. Just the word self. They're so self. Throw off the fucking aware because clearly they're not. This post just says, I'll fall out with the whole world and not give a single fuck. Like, I don't fucking care, dude. I don't care if nobody likes me. Everyone thinks I'm an asshole. My mom thinks I'm a bitch. I don't care. I won't give a single fuck. Also, this podcast is going to be explicit. I guess it's too late to say that, but... Oh my god, I love these. I'm going to keep them coming, okay? I think I'm going to do 2 more. I'm on this page that posts these unironically. This is the worst part. Some of you who may be listening to these and having me read these off, I'm reading them off, ironically. But the person who is posting them, nah. That's fucking unironic. They are posting these serious because they want people to hear this and go, oh my god, you tell them, sister. Oh my god. Okay, here's another one. Overheard someone say you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. And that's probably some of the best advice I've heard in a while. God, dude, you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. I love these analogies, dude. This is some like, this is some Edgar Allan Poe horror type shit that just like scares you to your core because it's too real. You know what I mean? That's why Edgar Allan Poe is such a good poet, because it was real horror, and that's what this is. You really can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. It really do be like that sometimes. It really do be like that sometimes. Okay, last one, and then I'll find something else to talk about that's going to piss me off. But before I read this last one, because it's probably my favorite one, if you are in a relationship and you cherish it and it means a lot to you and you want it to be personal, just have it be you two. Don't include everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. I open up to my friends, to Alex and Kyle, about relationship advice if I need it, or like, I'll ask people around me, or, like I'll do some of my own self-research or whatever on what I should do and how I should act and whatever. And don't get me wrong, it is fine to seek like guidance and help or whatever, but there is a line between when you're telling your heart and seeking guidance from a counselor, from a therapist, than just some Joe Schmo on the street who doesn't need to know that your husband cheated twice, who doesn't need to know that you are just now disclosing out of the blue because you just want to. And like I was saying earlier, some people don't even know that I have a girlfriend, and it's because I don't need to walk around and say that. It's just me and her. Why do I need to bring everybody else into this? It bugs the shit out of me. So my advice to your guys is just, don't let nobody never talk to you like that. Okay, last one. Here we go. Everything was serious up until that last point, by the way. I'm being very serious. I think anyone who's in a relationship, just keep it yourselves. Work on each other and the relationship itself, and don't bring the entire state that you live in with you. Okay, let's do one more of these cringe-inducing tweets. I've become so at peace with shit I used to let bother me. Now, I don't even entertain the negativity. I graduated from paragraphs to okay. And sometimes I don't respond at all. Every action doesn't deserve a reaction. I found my inner peace, and now no one can touch me. Is that not the most badass shit that you've ever heard? That's like some fucking seppuku Twitter stuff right there. Listen, okay, one more. Or not one more. Let me go through it one more time real quick. I've become so at peace with shit I used to let bother me. Now I don't even entertain the negativity. Here's the meat, though. Here's the meat of it. I graduated from paragraphs to okay, and sometimes I don't even respond at all. This is the same thing that I was talking about earlier, where I'm sure somebody else has a very good argument on why she's being mean or rude or something like that, and she's just like, you know what? I don't even respond to all that negativity. Nobody ever going to talk to me like that. I just hit him with an okay. I graduated from all those paragraphs I used to say about ranting about shit. Yeah, I just say okay now. Sometimes I don't even respond because people are dirt and they don't deserve anything. No reaction, no nothing. People don't deserve nothing from nobody. I found my inner peace and now no one can touch me. Yeah, that's peaceful. That's peaceful for sure. Just being a raging self-obsessed asshole. That's inner peace right there. Hey, I'm not going to take advice from anybody unless it's positive towards myself and it's on my side of whichever argument that I probably started. I won't take it unless it's positive about me. Because guess what? Nobody never gonna... I keep wanting to say it. That's going to be my next tattoo. I'm just going to get it on like the back of my neck. Nobody never going to talk to me like that. Nobody never going to talk to me like that. Bitch. But yeah, it's only recently, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about, and I hope you aren't those people, but I know you guys know somebody who talks about their relationship every single flippin' day, dude. Like, what the HE double hockey sticks is wrong with you? Jeez, Karen, quit telling me about your boyfriend. But no, seriously, that stuff bugs the hell out of me. And that was my first topic. I was going to do more topics. I was going to have Alex on the podcast, but it was getting a little too late to do it. My laptop wouldn't work, so I'm using this other computer right here, but I needed to make sure I had something put up on the podcast or whatever. But yeah, I just hate stuff like that. I hate stuff like that. More importantly, I just hate those Twitter accounts or, Instagram accounts that focus on a like subgenre of mood, I will call it, mood in air quotes, and they just hit it so damn hard. Every post is like I said, preaching to the choir, but like a very specific choir, one that only wants to hear about how, you know what, I'm strong because I don't take advice from people, or I'm so strong because I don't respond to text messages or constructive criticism. I don't respond to it because if it's not positive towards me, then I don't give a shit. And in my head, that just has to be a very, very bad way of living and handling shit like that. But yeah, that's it for that topic. I don't want to get too far. I could talk forever about that. But like most of the time, we're about to switch to a whole different subject, and I hope that's okay. Because if I don't want, I said at the other podcast where I was like, I don't want to talk about Red Dead for 2 hours because I know people are probably going to be like, stop listening because they're like, dude, I don't care about when you talk about video games, and that's fine. So what I like doing on Thursdays, it's just hitting like boom, 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 like subjects like left and right. You know what I mean? Because I usually round up a topic very, very fast. 22 minutes isn't fast, but you know what I mean as far as podcasts go. But what I was going to talk to Alex about, but by the time I could even do a podcast with him, it'll be old news. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, the alien spaceship thing. I'm generalizing, of course. That's not what they called it. The little probe, the alien probe that Harvard scientists said that could possibly be an alien probe. And the reason, whenever I saw it, it was on Google. It was like on my Google News feed, you know what I mean? Like when you open Google but don't search anything on your phone, it like has the news feed below it. It's usually always trustworthy because Google won't post anything on their website that isn't, objectively speaking, untrustworthy, right? So, I mean, they'll post stuff from like CNN and YouTube and like GQ magazine, you know what I mean? Like high profile stuff. And whenever I saw the alien probe thing, I was like, why is this on my, is this like an ironic post? Why is Google posting this? And then I looked into the article, and it wasn't from some website called, JoeMeetsTheAliens.com or something, and a guy paid $25 so he could post his conspiracy theories on there. It was like from the Washington Post, and the people that they were citing and the research or whatever was from Harvard scientists. And they were talking about alien probes, so immediately my interest is piqued immediately, because I was like, okay, it's a trustworthy site. It's clearly trustworthy references. It's not April, so it's not a joke. So I look into it, and I guess they saw this thing in space that was moving too irregularly to be, well, I guess it's all irregular, but it was moving too different to be a comet and too different to be a meteor. So they were juggling the idea like, well, comets have a tail, this one didn't. Meteors usually just fly in a pretty straightforward path or whatever, and if they don't, it's not like this. But I guess this thing, this alien probe, flew around and used the gravitational pull to like fling itself back around and speed away. And that's what our satellites, what our probes, we use the gravitational pull and fucking slingshot. If you've seen Interstellar, you know what I'm talking about. And it was irregular. Now, granted, they're not saying it is an alien probe. They're saying probably, well, not even probably. It could be. Could is a word, yeah. Because there isn't enough evidence to back that up. And I think I saw another article somewhere saying that, it's bullshit or whatever, and they're just doing it for like clickbait or whatever like that. And the things that cross my mind are, one, the clickbait argument. That's a little weird because fucking aliens are clickbait. I don't think so. Not in today's age. Aliens are old news. Anytime any article pops up, we're like, yeah, we get it. Aliens are probably real. We don't know. There's not enough evidence to back it up, but they're probably real. I don't see why a Harvard people would just be like, oh, let's just talk about aliens now to like spur up the conversation again. Like, dude, 90% of Earth's population believes in aliens. You don't need to bring it up, which is why it's so intriguing to me, because like I said, the sources are so reputable. And again, they're not saying it is. It's just, it's an exciting topic because most of the time when you get something like this, it's from conspiracy theory websites or YouTube channels that have 10,000 views in a video, and those 10,000 are like die hard. All of them have believe that they've been like abducted or whatever. But I remember when I read that, it actually got me excited a little bit. Like, it got me stoked, but then terrified again, because I think anytime people talk about aliens or think about it, it sounds exciting at first. And let me just put a disclaimer. I do think alien. I think, it's tough. Because it's weird to talk about aliens, because I think anytime anybody always just sounds like a fucking kook. Every time somebody talks about aliens in some capacity, you always sound like you should be institutionalized. Always. And I'm trying my hardest to not sound like a complete maniac. But what I think is, I think you would have to be foolish to not believe that there could be something, I guess is how I would word it. I'm not saying that there definitely is, because I don't have proof, and I don't think anybody does. But there also isn't anything stopping me from believing that. You know what I mean? So that's why. That's why I think it's such an interesting thing, and that's my disclaimer. Is I do think that we are not alone in the world, and that's why it's exciting to think about. But then, like I was saying earlier, that's also why it's scary, because you talk about aliens, you get excited, and you think, man, I hope in my lifetime, like, we make contact or something, the aliens come here, you know what I mean? But then you have to kind of put it into perspective, and then this part ruins the fun of the alien conversation, because it's like, yeah, but what would we do as a people, as the fucking world? What would we do? And it's scary shit. Because I was watching another podcast recently, and one of the guys on there said him and his wife were watching a movie. And, the Universal logo comes up. It's Earth or whatever, and Universal comes around the corner. You guys know what I'm talking about. And he was watching it, and he looked at his wife and said, "Can you believe we're just, like, floating in space?" And his wife was like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about it." Because it's so damn weird. There's so many... Our lives are so massive. There's so much shit for us to do in our lives and in our world, and things that we have to worry about, that you don't even think about it. But whenever you see a picture of the Earth, and the picture is round, I guarantee it, it's such a weird thought to think we are so fucking minuscule. in this huge, grand scheme of the universe. We are just on a ball, floating and spinning. That's it. That's all we are. And here I am getting upset about fucking Twitter posts. But that's the fun part. That's the exciting part. You know what's weird about this this cough? It won't go away. And you know how some people say, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if a wet cough, that sounds gross. But you guys know what I'm talking about. The ones that are like phlegm heavy or whatever, compared to like a dry cough. I don't know which order it is, but I think people who say, you know, like the dry coughs, it means you're getting over it or something like that. But I wanna tell you guys this thing. So I am generally not a gross person. Like I don't like fart in front of people. I don't burp in front of people. I close my mouth when I chew. Just generally speaking, I can definitely do gross things and I can say gross things, but I just don't do it that often. I mean, you're talking to somebody who doesn't like PDA because it grosses me out in public. But I did something super embarrassing at Kyle and Alex's house the other day when we were like just hanging out or whatever, and I coughed. And okay, I'm not going to get into details because they know what I'm talking about, but something came out of my mouth when I coughed, and it was so damn embarrassing because I didn't notice it, but they did, and they were just laughing and like watching me do this. And oh my God, it was so embarrassing and gross, and I never do that, so it was a fucking double whammy. I was gross and I was embarrassed, and being embarrassed in front of your friends is a whole new ball game, brother. Whenever the people that you trust and are probably the most weird around, whenever you get embarrassed in front of them, my God, that's a whole other story, which I will tell you guys one, because I thought about it too. I was like, what could I make this podcast about? Because I just want to put one out. I could make it about the relationship thing. I could make it about UFOs, and I can make it about an embarrassing story. And I'm going to do all three. So there was this one time. This is one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me. I'm sure I could think of other embarrassing moments or whatever, because I'm definitely not the smoothest guy in the world. But I'm going to tell you guys this story that embarrassed me so damn hard. So me and my friends, I forgot who it was. It might have been CJ Anderson and maybe Zach McCarthy. And it's just us three, just three single bachelors out in the town. And we were like, hey, let's go see a movie. So we went to the Cinema 10, down, I think it was Cinema 10 in Hot Springs. And we get there, and immediately I noticed the girl behind the counter is cute as hell. And also, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I was going to like justify why three teenage guys are... single teenage guys are just horny all the time, and we just view women as objects, at least for like the first like 10 seconds. But I can't justify it, so I'm just gonna tell you the story. We walk in there, and I noticed that she's cute, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna spit some mad game here, and I think I'm 16 at this point. So we walk up to the counter. I get a large drink, and I get a popcorn because I'm a fat ass, and I get both of those things for myself. So I sit down in the movie theater, I have my concession or whatever, and I'm thinking in my head, I was like, Damien, before that, you know what would make this movie great? You know what would make this viewing experience great? If you pulled game on that sweet shorty outside. So while like the Geico ads are on and the stuff like that before the movie, I'm like, you know what? Go spend money. Go get like a Twizzlers thing so you have an excuse to go out there and like talk to the girl. My bad. I had Twizzlers and I had a Coke and I didn't have popcorn. My bad. Which I don't know how I forgot. But I sit in there and I go, you know what? Make an excuse. Go get popcorn or whatever. So I go out there. And the popcorn part is crucial to the story, which I can't believe I missed it. But I go up to the counter and I'm already flustered because I'm like, dude, you got to impress this girl. You're at the movies with three guys. It already looks weird. Let her know that you think she's cute and you're interested in her as a female human being. So I go up to the counter and I'm looking at the concession menu like I don't already know what I'm going to get, aka popcorn. And I look at her and I know what I want, so I look at it and I point. Now, let me pause here for a second. a huge thing whenever I was in high school, whenever I was around the age of 16, 17, 18. Spoonerisms were huge, a huge joke in my grade and through, like, in my group of friends, a huge thing. And if you don't know what spoonerisms are, it's just when you change, Kyle would love this little drop I'm doing right here, but it's when you change the first letters of two words. You know what I mean? So, like, Damien Luneman, it would be Lamian Duneman. And you guys have done it before. I know you know what I'm talking about. So, here I am, in the midst of my high school career, and I think spoonerisms are the funniest thing on the planet. And in my head, I thought, this is perfect, dude. And if she doesn't know what spoonerisms are, I'm going to open up a whole can of beans for this girl, okay? So I go up to the counter, I look at the menu, I see the popcorn, and she goes, hey, what can I get you? She has this cute smile on her face, and I was like, this is it. This is my moment. I look at her and I say, yeah, I'll just have a large cop porn. I said, can I have a large cop porn? Because I spoonerized the word. And this young girl's face, she didn't laugh. She kind of just had this stare that was one of confusion. I felt like there was some disappointment in her eyes too. I know that look very well. And I think she was almost disappointed in me because I think she was probably older, so I think she knew what I was doing, hitting on her at least. She didn't know about the spoonerism thing, at least I don't think. And clearly neither did I, because I didn't do any premeditation before I flirted with this girl. I literally said that I wanted large cop porn. Cop porn. And my goodness, she gave it to me. I bought it. I paid for it. So literally, I paid for myself to get embarrassed. I paid to embarrass myself. And I don't think I told anybody about that until I was like 21. I didn't even tell CJ and Zach when I went in the movie theater because I was that embarrassed. I was like, dude, they're going to want me to have a story. Like, oh my God, dude, I laid it on so hard. Like, I got her number. We're going to meet up after this movie, like when she gets off work. But no, literally, I asked her if she wanted to watch pornographic material with me. And that was it. That's the weirdest thing ever. And I embarrassed myself so hard. And it is not the most embarrassing thing, but Jesus Christ, I will always remember whenever I spoonerized popcorn without thinking about it for a second. But it makes for a good story, so I'm kind of glad I did it. Super embarrassing. I know Alex has this one. I won't tell it for him because that is just a great fucking story. But yeah, I won't even get into it. I'm just creating hype here for when he's on. He can tell you guys this story because it is one of every time he tells me. You know how like when people are telling you about their problems or whatever, you're like, man, I don't envy you. Or they tell you something that happened to him, and you're like, damn, dude, I'm actually a lucky person. Alex has this story that I think would put every human being to shame if they thought they had the most embarrassing story. And I don't even think Alex views it as his most embarrassing story, but my goodness, every time he tells it or I think about it, I'm like, dude, if that happened to me, oh my God, I would have hidden a bunker for 33 years until my close relatives forgot it. But yeah, so a little teaser for that embarrassing story. But what did we talk about? We talked about relationships and this girl's Twitter account, who I won't name, that alien probe, which also that's exciting. And if I were you guys, I would look that up because it's super, super exciting, intricate. It's an exciting prospect to like think about, to just think about aliens again. Because I know, like I was just saying, like everybody knows about aliens. We get it. It's old news. You know how many alien movies come out a year? But I still think when it's in real life, anything that has to do with aliens is always exciting. I don't think it's clickbaity exciting, but I think it's call for conversation as far as being exciting and also being afraid to realize that, dude, just because they're aliens, actually more so because they're aliens, they're probably not going to be friendly, and they'll probably kill us because they'll read our fucking Twitter accounts, I'll tell you that. But yeah, that's it. This is a crazy sandwich podcast, but I still hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. I love talking about random shit and just going endlessly, because remember, this is unscripted and it is just a conversation. And I feel like I need to remind you guys that every single time, and I am going to. But more importantly, just thank you guys for listening and tuning in. I always appreciate it. And I honestly think right now in my life, this is the happiest I've ever been, and it's the funnest I've ever had doing what I love. And literally anybody who listens to this is giving me more of that and giving me more of a reason to do that. So I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, thank you guys. This has been the Leftover Popcorn Podcast, and I am your host, Damon Luneman. Thank you guys so much. And as always, until next time, guys, thank you so much. Bye.